Cowboys Nation, this is one of those moments that no one ever wants to talk about. Today, the Dallas Cowboys community is heartbroken after receiving devastating news that defensive end MILTON has passed away at just 24 years old. It's the kind of loss that shakes everyone, from teammates to coaches to fans who cheered for him since the day he was drafted. And honestly, it's hard to even find the right words. You can tell that for the entire Cowboys organization, this is more than just losing a player. It's losing a family member, a brother, someone who brought energy, passion, and heart into everything he did. Early this morning, the Cowboys released an emotional statement confirming the tragedy, expressing their deepest sadness over the loss of MILTON. They described him as a beloved teammate and member of their organization, and they shared that their thoughts and prayers are with his girlfriend Catalina and his family. You could just feel the pain behind those words. This isn't about football right now. It's about a young man whose life was just getting started, whose journey was only beginning to unfold. MILTON's agent also released a message that hit everyone right in the chest. He said he was shattered to confirm the loss of his client and dear friend, remembering how MILTON went from a determined kid at Western Michigan to a respected professional in the NFL. He talked about how MILTON gave everything he had on every single snap, every practice, every moment he stepped onto the field. That kind of dedication is rare, and that kind of heart is what made people believe he was destined for something special. His agent's words captured it perfectly. The pain, the disbelief, the love for someone who wasn't just an athlete, but a genuinely good person. Mike Zimmer, who coached MILTON, also spoke about him. He said MILTON was the kind of player who didn't take nonsense from anyone on the field. He studied hard, wanted to be great, and had that spark, that determination that separates good players from the great ones. Zimmer mentioned his last conversation with MILTON, where he told him, "Keep being great. You're going to have a great career." That's what makes this loss even tougher. A young man full of potential who had already shown glimpses of greatness, gone far too soon. And if you think back, there's one play that stands out in the minds of Cowboys fans. That moment when MILTON recovered a blocked punt in the end zone against the Arizona Cardinals, turning it into a touchdown. That image will live on forever. You could see the fire in his eyes, the excitement, the pride of wearing that star on his helmet. That was MILTON in a nutshell. Full of life, always ready to give everything for his team, always chasing that next moment of greatness. He was drafted in the second round out of Western Michigan in the 2024 NFL Draft. He was one of those players who had so much upside that people in the organization couldn't stop talking about his future. Injuries slowed him down a bit, but nobody ever questioned his talent or his drive. He was only 24, still learning, still growing, still finding his rhythm in the league. That's what makes it so heartbreaking. We're not just talking about a player whose career was cut short. We're talking about a young man whose life had barely started. Right now, the Cowboys are on their bye week, so players aren't even back in the facility yet. You can only imagine how hard this news is hitting everyone as it spreads through the locker room, through group chats, through calls between teammates who are trying to process what just happened. There's a kind of silence that comes with a loss like this, a silence filled with disbelief, sadness, and reflection. The NFL also released a statement saying they're deeply saddened by the news, offering condolences to MILTON's loved ones and letting everyone know that the league is providing support and counseling resources for the Cowboys organization. That's what family does. When one of their own falls, the entire football community feels it. It doesn't matter which team you root for. In moments like this, everyone comes together. And I know some people online are already trying to speculate about what happened, but that's not what this is about. This isn't the time for rumors or guessing. What matters now is respect. Respect for MILTON's family, his loved ones, his teammates, and his memory. The details will come out when they're meant to. And until then, the only thing we should be doing is keeping his family in our thoughts and prayers. Nobody should have to find out about something this tragic through social media rumors. So please, let's remember to be compassionate and patient, to allow the people who are truly hurting to grieve in peace. You know, every once in a while, moments like this remind us of what really matters. We get so caught up in stats, trades, and game results that we forget the human side of this sport. These are young men who work day and night chasing a dream. They sacrificed their bodies, their time, and sometimes even their mental health to play the game they love. Marzan was one of those guys who represented that dream, a player who showed what happens when hard work meets heart. And if there's one message we can take from all of this, it's to check in on the people around you. Make sure your friends are okay. Make sure your family knows you care. It's never a sign of weakness to ask for help or to admit when something isn't right. There are people out there who want to listen, who care about you more than you might realize. That's what Martian's story reminds us, that life is fragile and that every connection, every friendship, every act of kindness matters. Right now, the entire Cowboys family is hurting. You can bet that inside that locker room, emotions are raw. Teammates are sharing memories, talking about the laughs they had, the tough practices, the shared dreams. Coaches are remembering the kid who always stayed late, who always wanted to learn more. Fans are posting clips of his plays, reliving the moments that made them cheer. That's the kind of impact Marzan had. He left a mark, even in such a short time. The truth is, none of us were ready for this. 24 years old, a full career ahead of him, a lifetime ahead of him. It just doesn't seem fair. But sometimes, all we can do is honor his memory by remembering the light he brought into the world, by celebrating the effort and passion he gave to this team, and by standing behind his loved ones as they go through something none of us can truly imagine. So, to everyone out there in Cowboys Nation, take a moment today to think about Marzan. Remember his smile, his energy, that blocked punt touchdown that made us all jump out of our seats. Remember that this game we love is played by real people, with real dreams and real struggles. And as hard as it is right now, the best thing we can do is keep his spirit alive in the way we talk about him, the way we support his teammates, and the way we treat each other. Because at the end of the day, football is family. And today, our family lost one of its own. When moments like this happen, it's impossible not to pause and reflect on how fragile life truly is. For Cowboys fans, for teammates, and for anyone who's followed Marzan's story, this isn't just another piece of NFL news. It's something that cuts deep. You start thinking about the early mornings at training camp, the grind of trying to earn a spot, the sweat and determination it takes just to get noticed in this league. Marzan lived that every single day. He wasn't just chasing fame or money. He was chasing purpose. He wanted to be great, not only for himself, but for everyone who believed in him. And that's what made people around him love him so much. He carried himself with humility, worked harder than most, and even in moments of struggle, he had this way of lifting others up. Teammates have started to share their memories online, and you can sense the respect in every word. Some remember the jokes he cracked in the locker room. Others talk about how focused he was in meetings, always taking notes, always asking questions. Marzan wasn't the loudest guy in the room, but when he spoke, people listened. He had that quiet confidence, the kind that doesn't need a shout to be felt. Mike Zimmer said it best. He was eager to learn, eager to improve, and never afraid to take on challenges. That's the kind of mindset every coach dreams of. When you think about the future he had ahead of him, the career he was building step by step, it just makes this loss all the more devastating. Right now, the Cowboys are doing what families do during hard times. They're coming together. Coaches, staff, and players are leaning on one another, trying to make sense of what can't really be explained. They're offering counseling and support, giving space for people to process the grief. The team isn't just an organization, it's a brotherhood. These men go to battle together week after week, and when one of them falls, it affects everyone. You can bet that when the team gets back to the facility, there'll be tears, hugs, and long conversations about how to honor Martian's memory the right way. And for fans, it's about reflection too. We cheer for the touchdowns, the sacks, the highlight plays, but we often forget about the person behind the helmet. Marzan was more than just number 98 on the field. He was someone's son, someone's partner, someone's friend. His girlfriend Catalina, his family, his loved ones, they're now living through something unimaginable. The Cowboys and the NFL community have offered their full support, and fans across the league have sent messages of love and condolences. That's the beautiful part of sports. When tragedy strikes, rivals become allies, and everyone unites around compassion. People keep bringing up that blocked punt touchdown against Arizona, and for good reason. It was one of those plays that showed everything about him. The awareness, the hustle, the instinct to be in the right place at the right time. You could feel the electricity in that moment. His teammates mobbed him in the end zone, smiling and shouting because they knew how much he deserved that one. It was pure joy. That moment will now forever stand as a symbol of his spirit. Bright, relentless, unforgettable. As for the cause of his passing, nothing official has been released, and honestly, it shouldn't be the focus right now. There are plenty of rumors floating around online, but that's not where our attention should be. The right thing to do is respect the family's privacy and let them share details when they're ready. What matters is remembering the person, not speculating about the tragedy. The Cowboys statement made that clear, and every fan should follow their lead. Choose respect over curiosity, compassion over clicks. Martian's story is a reminder to every athlete, every fan, and every person watching this right now. Life is unpredictable. You could do everything right, work hard, stay disciplined, and still have it taken away in an instant. That's why moments like this force you to appreciate the little things. Text that friend you haven't spoken to in a while. Tell your family you love them. Take care of your mental health. Because even in the toughest moments, there are people who care about you, who want to see you happy, who would drop everything to help you if you just reached out. I can imagine how the Cowboys locker room feels right now. The silence, the disbelief, the waves of emotion that come in at random times. One minute you're remembering a funny story about Marzhan during practice, and the next, the reality hits you all over again. These guys spend more time together than they do with their own families during the season. They build bonds that are hard to explain to outsiders. Losing someone that close isn't something you just move on from. It's something you carry, and hopefully, something you turn into motivation to keep living with the same heart and drive that person showed. There's already talk that the Cowboys will plan some sort of tribute. Maybe a patch, maybe a moment of silence before their next game, maybe players wearing something to honor his number. Whatever they do, you can be sure it'll come from the heart. And when they take that field again, it won't just be for the win. It'll be for Marzhan. Every tackle, every block, every touchdown will carry extra meaning. Because now it's not just about football. It's about honoring a brother who can't be there in person, but will always be there in spirit. For the fans, this is a time to remember what sports truly represent. It's not just competition, it's connection. We gather around this game because it brings us together, because it gives us heroes, stories, and memories that last forever. Marzhan gave us a piece of that. Even if his time on the field was short, the impact he made on those around him will last much longer. You can't measure that in stats or highlight reels. You measure it in the way people talk about him, the way they light up when remembering his smile or his work ethic. But before we continue, don't forget to subscribe to our channel and give this video a like. Your support helps us keep bringing you the latest updates on the Dallas Cowboys. Feel free to share your thoughts on the news in the comments as well. The Dallas Cowboys are in the eye of a storm, and the tension on the sidelines could be felt all the way to the locker room. The rumor mill has been spinning wildly since yesterday's controversial play, when quarterback Joe Milton reportedly called for a fourth down attempt, only to be flatly overruled by offensive coordinator Shane Schottenheimer. Sources suggest that the exchange on the sideline was heated, with coaches and players alike visibly shaken by the disagreement. According to insiders, Milton, known for his aggressive play-calling instincts, felt the team had the momentum and that converting on fourth down could shift the game decisively in the Cowboys' favor. He was confident, one anonymous source said, and wanted to take the shot. But Schottenheimer was not having it. The coordinator's decision to veto the call sparked audible frustration, with Milton reportedly gesturing in disbelief before storming to the bench. Eyewitnesses claim the incident caused a ripple effect across the sideline, as players questioned the call and debated whether the coaching staff's caution was costing the team valuable opportunities. The tension hasn't stopped at just the coaching staff. Teammates were said to be caught in the middle, whispering among themselves and exchanging looks of concern as the drama unfolded. Fans in the stadium and watching on broadcasts picked up on the palpable unease, with social media lighting up almost instantly with speculation and hot takes. Some are calling it a classic case of player versus coach, while others suggest it could be the spark the Cowboys need to finally shake off their recent slump, or a warning sign of deeper unrest. While the team has yet to issue an official statement, insiders hint that Monday's practice could be equally charged. Questions loom over how much authority a quarterback should have in high-pressure moments versus the coaching staff's strategic vision. If this rumor is true, the MILTON-Schottenheimer standoff could become one of the most talked-about controversies of the NFL season. For now, all eyes are on Dallas, and the whispers on the sidelines are louder than ever. That's it for this update. If you enjoyed the video and want to keep receiving exclusive news about the Dallas Cowboys, please subscribe to our channel and give this video a like. We always look forward to your comments and opinions. See you in the next video.